First though, it lies in the heart of our continent and is an internationally recognised symbol of Australia. This month marks 30 years since Uluru was handed back to traditional owners. But when it comes to how the World Heritage listed park is managed, Western and Indigenous values have often clashed. As Sally Brooks reports, there's new hopes these tensions can be resolved. And a warning to Indigenous viewers, this story contains images of people who have died.
Indigenous people believe ancestral beings created the landscape, including Uluru and Kata Tjuta, at the beginning of time. Aboriginal people from Central Australia called Anangu see themselves as descendants of the ancestors that formed these gigantic ochre rocks. Uluru's complex set of laws and creation stories, known as Tjukurpa, is theirs to pass on and protect.
Big place. Men and women have been talking to.
Aboriginal people's connection to Uluru and Kata Tjuta was recognised in non-Indigenous law 30 years ago.
All Aboriginal people right around Australia. Very important day. So, really Aboriginal Day today. We're going to celebrate.
On October the 26th, 1985, the Governor-General Sir Ninian Stephen handed over the freehold title deeds for the park area to traditional owners. But bitter opposition to the handback, led by the Northern Territory government, extended to the ceremony itself, and the Territory still plays no role at Uluru. That day has become known as the handback, and it remains a significant moment for Aboriginal people across the country.
Manda mandina de pijala nyanga ngai win ki mala banyana mori julola arnang banya win ki chungorangula win ki dala nyana kangai ko ngai de ngai wirongula banyana chutta mala balding.
A condition of the handback was the immediate lease of the land back to the federal government for 99 years to jointly manage the park with traditional owners. A lot of that management is focused on tourists. The earliest recorded visits were in the 1940s. Today, photos of the ancient rock are captured by hordes of visitors from around the globe. But around the base of Uluru, signs ask tourists not to take photos of sacred sites. Strict guidelines forbid the media from filming the most famous and controversial activity inside the park, climbing the rock. Signs ask people not to climb, and plaques pay tribute to those who've lost their lives. 36 people have died as a result of climbing the rock. Many more have been injured. The climb is often closed due to bad weather, but traditional owners have backed away from plans to permanently shut it.
Rain juga was bad. Kangan mana wera. Terus orang ni yang peseri ngalih bel mal bangkan ni wih. Hala jangan dalam orang ni. If one close malap really malap close man. Climb belajar. Close man hal protocol ni. Hala belajar. Ka aeroplane blind ni ada saf perin. Mingap karibe.
In many ways, it symbolises the continuing tension between Western and Anangu values. A sign at the base of the climb asks tourists whether this is a place to conquer or to connect with. It's this clash of cultures that a system of joint park management has to negotiate, and it's under review. Parks Australia is focusing on three main areas: how the park is governed, how job and business opportunities are provided, and how park staff and traditional owners interact each day.
Macam berapa wah aku jumpa orang beran imaginar jejuan what we will jain. Kau aku jumpa balen ni pura kena jahat bakuan. Kanu apa lu jengu later on bajalap. Jung orang lah. Oh macam dah bring na idea macam apa. We gotta do jejuan aku jumpa dong. Kamu tahu pala balaja. But jirani ya banyak boranga and veget chugarong.
They're eager to turn around a drop in tourist numbers at the Rock. 285,000 people visited Uluru in the year to August. That's up on the previous year, but it follows more than 10 years of decline. New businesses give tourists a wider range of experiences.
We thought it'd be a little bit more fun than just walking.
We were really surprised to see that the average distance that people really like to ride was about 8 or 9 kilometres. So we thought that Uluru was a really good place to be riding a bike because it's a 10.1 kilometre ride around the base.
Businesses operating in the national park have to meet strict conditions aimed at protecting the environment and biodiversity, and that process can take years. But there is some recognition that people are looking for more at the Rock than the traditional bus tours that ran 30 years ago.
It wasn't a sealed road, it was an adventure just to make it. Now you easily get there in 4 or 5 hours from Alice Springs on a bus, or you can fly there. So the adventure has to happen there. People are looking for adventure.
Another way traditional owners prefer tourists to experience Uluru is by taking part in one of the cultural walking tours to learn about the sacred sites here and Anangu culture. But there's also activities for tourists at the nearby town of Yulara, which operates outside the national park. Just outside the park boundary, there's more flexibility, and Uluru Camel Tours has gone from running 6 camels to 65 in just 5 years.
We wouldn't be here in this location without Uluru. In fact, 1,200 people that live and work here wouldn't be here without Uluru. And the town of Yulara, it's the 5th largest town in the Northern Territory.
Mark Swindell says the falling dollar has seen international visitors return to Central Australia. He's keen to see more locals.
You know, people forget, especially those of us that come from the East Coast, that this is 2/3 of Australia. Now, this is actually what it looks like, and I think especially for young people to come out and see our greatest natural icon and experience it firsthand and get up close to it, it's memories for life.
He's also eager to work more closely with the National Park and the traditional owners to open up Uluru.
For the Anangu people, especially the young people who live in this region, it means jobs.